What do narcissists do when they can't control you anymore? Unveiling the dark path toward narcissistic defeat. Introduction. Narcissism is a complex personality disorder characterized by inflated self-importance, an excessive need for admiration, and a lack of empathy for others. Driven by an insatiable hunger for power, control, and admiration, narcissists often manipulate and exploit those around them to maintain a sense of superiority. However, what happens when their control over a person diminishes or completely evaporates? This article delves into the intriguing question of what narcissists do when they can no longer exert their influence and control, uncovering the intriguing facets of their behavior in the face of perceived defeat. Understanding narcissism. A brief overview. Before delving into the behavior of narcissists when they lose control, it is crucial to comprehend the motives and characteristics driving their actions. Narcissistic personality disorder, NPD, stems from a combination of genetic, biological, and environmental factors. Individuals with this disorder often develop an inflated sense of self-worth as a defense mechanism, masking deep-seated feelings of inadequacy. The subsequent desire for control over others becomes their primary tool to reinforce their grandiose self-image. The power struggle. Narcissists and control. To grasp the significance of a narcissist losing control, it is essential to comprehend the role of control in their lives. Narcissists derive a sense of power and self-worth from manipulating and dominating those around them. By controlling others' emotions, thoughts, and actions, they maintain an illusion of superiority. However, when this control is challenged or lost, narcissists may resort to various strategies to regain their dominance. Reactions to losing control. The narcissistic injury. When narcissists lose their grip on manipulating an individual, it results in what psychologists refer to as a narcissistic injury. This injury occurs when their fragile self-image is threatened, sending them into a state of emotional turmoil. Often incapable of accepting any wrongdoing or personal flaws, narcissists might respond with extreme reactions, ranging from rage and devaluation to withdrawal and victimization. Countermeasures employed by narcissists. The devaluation strategy. Falling from grace. To boost their sense of superiority and reassert control, narcissists may resort to devaluing those they can no longer control. This tactic involves belittling and diminishing the perceived value of the person who has slipped from their grasp. This act of devaluation aims to not only bruise the victim's self-esteem but also undermine their credibility, making them doubt their own worth and resist breaking free. The smear campaign. Sowing seeds of doubt. Another tactic commonly used by narcissists when they can no longer control an individual is the smear campaign. Utilizing their skills of manipulation and charm, narcissists may engage in a systematic campaign to tarnish the reputation of their former targets. By spreading falsehoods and half-truths, they seek to manipulate others' perceptions of the victim, isolating them further and ensuring they are perceived as unworthy of support or trust. The narcissistic hoovering. Reeling the victim back in. In some cases, when a narcissist faces the loss of control, they may engage in a manipulative strategy known as hoovering. This involves attempting to draw the previous target back into their web of control. Skillfully using tactics such as guilt-tripping, seduction, and false promises of change, narcissists aim to regain control over their ex-target. The breaking point. Narcissistic rage and desperation. As narcissists struggle with the loss of control, they may enter a state of narcissistic rage. This outburst of anger and aggression can be triggered when their false self-image is shattered, leaving them vulnerable and exposed. To regain their feeling of power and control, they may resort to desperate measures, potentially endangering themselves and those around them. Conclusion. Understanding what narcissists do when they can't control someone anymore provides valuable insights into the dark nature of their disorder. From devaluation strategies and smear campaigns to desperate attempts at reestablishing control, narcissists' reactions showcase their relentless pursuit of power and the lengths they are willing to go to maintain their illusory grandeur. It is crucial to recognize these patterns of behavior, enabling individuals to protect themselves from the manipulative tactics of narcissists and break free from their toxic influence. Narcissistic personalities are, undeniably, one of the most challenging types of people to interact with. They are renowned for their grandiose attitudes, lack of empathy, and an exceeding need for admiration. When a narcissist cannot control you anymore, their behavior can take on various facets. This article explores such actions or reactions that one might potentially expect when a narcissist realizes that their manipulative charm is no longer working on you. The initial reaction to a lack of control by narcissists is often disbelief. They struggle with the concept that someone they viewed as a plaything or a puppet has broken away from their manipulative strings. They find the situation incomprehensible, and their immediate response is usually trying to regain control. They may attempt to lure you back in with sweet words, apologies, or promises of changed behavior. This is known as hoovering, where the narcissist, like a vacuum, tries to suck you back into the toxic cycle of their abusive control. As their hoovering attempts start failing, narcissists may resort to more dangerous tactics in the form of threats, bullying, or blackmail. They fear exposure and will go to drastic lengths to avoid being portrayed in a negative light. If they perceive you as a threat to their image or status, they may become vindictive. Stories are fabricated, lies are told, and sometimes they may even use other people to do their bidding. This phase is typically known as the smear campaign. The narcissist's ringmaster act, using manipulation and emotional abuse, is, unfortunately, quite common, and expecting subtle and blatant forms of gaslighting is plausible. When they lose control over you, they may second-guess your sanity, distort your reality, or make you feel guilty to try and destabilize you. They lean on this psychological manipulation to create a self-doubting, anxious, and vulnerable version of you that is easier to control. The harsher the resistance they encounter, the more their true colors tend to show. Narcissistic rage is a term often used to describe the anger, aggression, or passive-aggressive behavior that a narcissist exhibits when they feel threatened or denied. They disdain being vulnerable, and any hint of defiance or perceived criticism may release this rage, often resulting in abusive behavior. An important point to remember is that narcissists are not renowned for their emotional resilience. Their ego is fragile, and constant validation keeps their self-esteem afloat. When they can't control you anymore, they often play the victim card. They convince themselves, and perhaps others, that they are the ones being treated unfairly, a classic example of their inability to hold themselves accountable for their behavior. As the patterns begin to shift and the narcissist continuously fails to regain control, they may decide to abandon ship. The discard stage arrives. They may try to replace you with someone more controllable or suggest that leaving was their choice, another attempt to regain the upper hand. Narcissists live on a diet of attention, and when they can't get it from you, they may move on to a more sympathetic source. In some cases, narcissists may also show instances of self-destruction. Their lack of control can bring about a wave of self-doubt and compulsive behaviors. Substance misuse, reckless spending, or impulsivity may come to the fore. It's a whirlwind of chaos that they create around themselves, a direct result of their inability to cope with loss of control. The common thread, however, in all these reactions is the intention to regain and maintain power over you. Any action, any dialogue is aligned to that goal. Their self-worth is often contingent on their dominance over other individuals. The moment that dominance wavers, their grasp on their fragile reality starts to slip. In conclusion, experts advise setting clear boundaries, seeking professional help, and limiting interaction with those displaying narcissistic traits for your own mental and emotional health. It's important to remember that you cannot change a narcissist, nor can you expect them to comprehend the damage they inflict. The best course of action in dealing with a narcissist who has lost control over you is to ensure they don't regain it. As challenging as the journey may be, assertiveness, self-care, and external support can be the stepping stones to navigate past such a toxic environment. What do narcissists do when they can't control you anymore? Introduction. Narcissists are individuals who have an exaggerated sense of self-importance, lack empathy for others, and constantly seek admiration and control. They can often manipulate and exploit those around them to feed their insatiable need for dominance and power. However, what happens when their control over someone diminishes or disappears entirely? In this article, we will discuss the various ways narcissists react when they can no longer exert control over their targets. Understanding these behaviors can help individuals who have been victimized by narcissists to recognize the signs and empower themselves to break free from their influence. Discard and replace. When a narcissist can no longer control someone, they often resort to discarding them like an object that has lost its value. This may involve abruptly ending the relationship, devaluing the person, and completely cutting off any form of contact. The narcissist will quickly move on to find another target who can fulfill their need for control and admiration. The discard and replace tactic allows them to maintain their sense of superiority and control over others. Hoovering. Hoovering is a term used to describe the manipulative tactic employed by narcissists to regain control over someone they have discarded. They may come back into the target's life, often with promises of change or false apologies, to reel them back into their web of manipulation. The narcissist will play on the victim's emotions and vulnerabilities, exploiting their desire for connection and love. It is essential for individuals to recognize hoovering for what it is and resist falling back into the narcissist's grip. Smear campaigns. When narcissists can no longer control someone, they may resort to damaging their reputation through smear campaigns. They will spread false rumors, lies, or manipulate facts to make the victim appear unworthy of trust and support. This serves two purposes for the narcissist. It isolates the victim from potential allies and reinforces their own power by turning others against the target. Stalking and harassment. In some cases, narcissists may escalate their efforts to regain control through stalking and harassment. They may incessantly contact the victim through various means, show up uninvited at their residence or workplace, or engage in cyberbullying. This behavior can be extremely distressing and intrusive, causing the victim to feel constantly on edge and anxious. It is crucial to involve law enforcement and take steps to ensure personal safety if experiencing such harassment. Self-destructive behavior. When the narcissist realizes they can no longer exert control over someone, they may resort to self-destructive behaviors. This can manifest in various ways, such as excessive substance abuse, engaging in risky behaviors, or sabotaging personal and professional relationships. These actions are often an attempt to regain attention or regain a sense of power by eliciting sympathy or guilt from those around them. Conclusion. Dealing with the aftermath of a narcissistic relationship can be challenging and emotionally draining. Understanding the various methods narcissists employ when they can no longer control you empowers individuals to break free from their influence. Recognizing the discard and replace tactic, hoovering, smear campaigns, stalking and harassment, and self-destructive behavior allows victims to protect themselves mentally, emotionally, and physically. Seeking support from trusted friends, family, or therapists can provide the necessary guidance and healing during this journey. Remember, you have the power to reclaim your life, and no one deserves to be controlled by a narcissist.